Everybody seeing my desktop?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so just to recap, we need these three servers: DC1, Server 1, Server 2. And then we're going to figure the web application proxy remote access role to interface with ADFS. So LAN DC1, that's showing a datum. That's good. I can get that out of the way. I'm going to go to Server 1. Log in as the datum administrator. While it's doing that, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, so on Server 1, I'm logged in correctly, and I'm going to start with MMC. So I'm going to copy Microsoft Management Console. And then I will have to add a snap in, and it's going to be certificates. Now, the certificate that we have to get here, that's for a computer account. And the local computer, yep, and that's okay. Now, because we installed the ADFS role, we have this certificate here. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to wind up having to export this certificate and then import it into the other servers so that everything winds up getting trusted. So, computer account, when I click finish, I opened up the MMC. In the certificates node, I opened that up. And under personal, I opened up certificates. And we have LAN server1adatum.com certificate. And I right click all tasks. And I'm going to do an export. And here's the wizard for that. And yes, I want to export the private key, because without the private key, there's no point in even really exporting this. I'm going to leave this information here all exactly the same because it's good enough for this case. And I have to enter in a password. And I'm going to use the same old lame password. Now I got to give it a file name. And file name is going to wind up being lansvr1.pfx. PFX, that is an industry standard for a certificate export. If you wind up getting a third-party certificate from a larger provider, say like domain.com, godaddy.com, or whatever, they're going to wind up giving you a PFX file. And I'm going to have to store this on DC1. And the reason I have to store this on DC1 is because I'm going to have to get this from DC2. So I'm just going to type in the path because I know that LAN-DC1 is up and running. And you remember the software share where we wind up having to grab all kinds of files? I know that share is there. And I'm going to call this LAN SVR1 PFX. And if I type that in right, if I click next, hey, there we go. Okay. So I'm exporting my keys, include all certificates in the certification path, yes, and I've got a file format that's PFX. Awesome. Export was successful. Life is good. All right. So now I have to go on to LAN DC1. And I have to do the same thing here, MMC. And I'm going to add remove snap-ins. Double click on certificates to add it. Computer account. Next. Local. Finish. Then OK. And now we have certificates in our MMC. So what I have to do here is okay, now I have to import. So certificates, and on personal, I go import. And since this is on the local machine, I don't have to type in the UNC path. And here are all the different types of extensions that you can wind up getting for certificates. Ours is a PFX. Here's what we exported. Next. Here's where we put in the password. Next. And place in the personal store. That's good. And finish. And the import was successful. So here it is here. And we also wind up having to put it into another location here. Trusted Root Certification Authority. So that's this one right below it. Trusted Root Certification Authority. I'll just get this over here so you can see. Okay. And I'm going to import again. And just like before, it's on the local machine. It's PFX. And import was successful. Okay. So now what we have to do is we have to go into adding roles and features. Next, next, next. And we have to add remote access. So there's remote access. Next. 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 And we have to put in the web application proxy. Services features to that role. Okay. And once we're done that, we go install. Everybody following me so far? You're unmuted, everybody. Okay, so we're up to step 47. All right, so when the installation is complete, this is where you're supposed to take a screenshot. Don't worry about it. Now we have to open up the web application proxy wizard by clicking on open the web application proxy wizard. All right, I just had to meet you there, Joel. All right. So, Federation service name. My Federation service name is going to wind up being this. So, launch server 1. Just like here. And the username is going to be a datum administrator. So the web application proxy is going to have full admin rights. This is why it's very important that you wind up making sure that you secure this. And then we have to select a certificate from the drop-down list. So this is why we had to import the certificates from server 1. We'll select that, go next, and then it's going to run this PowerShell script. So this is either going to go very well or very poorly. Okay, so let's go back. Now, if I had to take a guess,
when you were naming the Federation service, there was a space at the end of it. Could that be it?
okay, I'll go over that again.
Sir,
Just in case I...
the Federation service name has a space at the end. Could that be the Federation? I seen there's a space. I don't know if that matters.
Well, let's find out.
All right.
It's either going to be that or I got the credentials wrong. And that's the right certificate. Hey, there we go. Okay, so this would be the screen cap at that previous point. Got one there. Okay, so let's move on to the lab challenge. So I'm just going to minimize that a little bit, get that out of the way. So we're on DC1, so we have to go to IIS. So Internet Information Services. Click on here. In the IIS section, we're going to have to click on Server Certificates. Double click. And we're going to have to create a self-signed certificate again. And we have to give it a friendly name of wfi.8atom.com. And the certificate's going to wind up being personal. So we got that part. And you can either close this, just get this out of the way. And we'll go into the remote access management console here. And we're going to go publish for the wizard. Next. Oh yes, definitely, Tiffany. I'm posting this up later. That's why I'm recording it twice. All right, so here's where you can go ADFS for the authentication or pre-authentication, or you can set up as pass-through. In this particular case, we're going to wind up using ADFS. Okay, and we're going to select Web and Microsoft Office Backend. And you remember our WIF sample app that we created before, a couple of labs ago? That's why you had to get that lab working perfectly in order to even have a chance of getting this one working. So I've got that selected. Next. And here's for our WIF sample application, we have to give it an external URL. So here's our external URL. No spaces. Or sorry, that's the name. Here's our external URL. Okay, now we'll give it a name, WIF sample app. And our external certificate. Okay, we're going to have to select lawnserver1.adatum.com. Okay, now here, enable HTTP to HTTPS. So if you type in http:// whatever the URL is, what this does is this will automatically make it an encrypted URL. So it's going to change the HTTP to HTTPS for you. Okay, and the backend server URL, it's already picked that up. Next. And it's going to wind up running this PowerShell script. That's going to be doing all the following parts. So backend server, server 1, external certificate, and this is the thumbprint for that certificate. Enable HTTP redirect is true. The external URL is going to wind up being this. The name is going to be the WIF sample app. And external pre-authentication is going to be ADFS. And the ADFS relaying party name is going to be the WIF sample app. And we successfully published it. Now I'm just going to go here. Yeah, so actually I can do both. So we'll go on over here and we're going to go local server. So this IE enhanced security configuration, okay, this is a pain in the butt normally for most administrators. So that they give you the ability to turn it off right from here. And now you see it's off. So if I go to launch server 1, I'm hitting IE, and believe it or not, this is actually proxied. And that's about as exciting as this part. You'll note it just says HTTP. Maybe if I type that in right. Okay, so this is if the redirect is not working. And believe it or not, that's as exciting as this lab gets. All right, Tiffany. Okay, so any questions?
Do we have class on Wednesday?
Oh, absolutely.